Hello friends, welcome to Vigyan Shala. Today we are going to start chapter number 1 of grade 9th, Matter in Our Surroundings. Topics to be discussed. We will begin with the introduction of the chapter, physical nature of matter, characteristics of particles of matter, states of matter, can matter change its state, and evaporation. Friends, we see a large variety of things in our surroundings having different shapes, sizes, and textures. For example, the air we breathe, the food we eat, stones, clouds, stars, plants, and animals, even a small drop of water or a particle of sand. All these things are made up of material which scientists have named matter. But what is matter? Anything which occupies space and have some mass and volume is called matter. So, in this chapter, we will learn more about matter based on its physical properties. Physical nature of matter. What happens if we crush a piece of chalk? We will get a fine powder, as you can see in this image. Now if you will closely observe this powder, you will see that it is made up of fine particles. From this observation, we can say that matter is made up of tiny particles. Now in order to understand this, let us perform an activity. Activity 1. Take a 100 ml beaker. Fill half the beaker with water and mark the level of water. Dissolve some salt or sugar with the help of a glass rod. Observe any change in water level. What do you think has happened to the salt? Where does it disappear? Does the level of water change? So in order to answer these questions, we need to use the idea that matter is made up of particles. As soon as you will add a spoonful of sugar or salt into water, it will dissolve in water after some time. Now where these particles have gone? Actually, these particles of sugar or salt divide themselves into more and more smaller particles which settle between the spaces of water molecules. So, from this activity, it can be said that every matter consists of many tiny particles, and these particles are much smaller in size. Now, how small are these particles of matter? To understand this, let us perform one more activity. Activity number 2. Take 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate and dissolve them in 100 ml of water. So, as you can see in this image, potassium permanganate is a purplish colored salt. We have to take few crystals of it and we have to dissolve it in water. Now, take out approximately 10 milliliters of this solution and put it into 90 ml of clear water. So, as soon as you will do this, the clear water will also become purplish in color. Again, take out 10 ml of this purplish colored solution and put it into another 90 ml of clear water. Keep diluting the solution like this for about 5 to 8 times. Is the water still colored? So you can see this. As you will keep continuing this process, the color of the solution will slightly become faint pink. This is because each time the solution gets more and more diluted. So let's see this with the help of an activity. First, we take one spatula of potassium permanganate and dissolve it in the water. Now the solution has completely turned into purplish color. With the help of syringe, we will take about 10 ml of this colored solution and after taking out 10 ml of colored solution, we will add it in beaker of clear water. Now this has also colored clear water. Again, from this solution, we will take out another 10 ml and we will put it in another clear water beaker. Now the color is slightly getting fainted. In this manner, if I keep continuing this activity, at last the solution becomes colorless. This experiment shows that just a few crystals of potassium permanganate can color a large volume of water, about 1000 liters. So we conclude that there must be millions of tiny particles in just one crystal of potassium permanganate, which keeps on dividing themselves into smaller and smaller particles. This same activity can be repeated with 2 milliliters of Dettol instead of potassium permanganate. When you take 2 milliliter of Dettol and add it in a bucket full of water, the smell of Dettol can be detected in whole bucket water, which shows that even Dettol of small volume can spread into whole water of bucket. So all these activities conclude that particles are much smaller in size, which spreads uniformly in the whole solution. Characteristics of particles of matter. Now there are three main characteristics of particles of matter. Number one, particles of matter have space between them. Number two, particles of matter are continuously moving. And number three, particles of matter attract each other. Particles of matter have space between them. In activities 1 and 2, we saw how particles of sugar, salt, Dettol or potassium permanganate got evenly distributed in water. Similarly, when we make tea or lemonade, we see how particles of tea or lemon drops gets evenly distributed in water spaces. So all these practically shows that there is enough space between particles of matter. Particles of matter are continuously moving. Now let us understand this with the help of few activities. Activity 3. Put an unlit incense stick in a corner of your class. हमें एक अगरबत्ती लेनी है और उसे बिना जलाए किसी एक कोने में रख देना है. How close do you have to go near it so as to get its smell? अब अगर हम बिना जलाए किसी अगरबत्ती को कॉर्नर पे रख दें तो उसकी सुगंध हमें दूर से नहीं आएगी. उसके लिए हमें उसके पास जाके उसकी स्मेल लेनी पड़ेगी. अब हमें करना क्या है? Now light the incense stick and put it again back to the corner. What happens? Do you get the smell sitting at a distance? Record your observations. So friends, जैसे ही आप अगरबत्ती को जला के किसी कॉर्नर पे रखोगे तो उसकी स्मेल लेने के लिए आपको उसके करीब जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. वो स्मेल दूर तक आपके पास पहुंच जाएगी. Similarly, let's perform another activity. Activity 4. Take 2 glasses or beakers filled with water. Put a drop of blue or red ink slowly and carefully along the sides of the first beaker and honey in the same way in second beaker. Leave them undisturbed in your house or in a corner of the class. Record your observations. What do you observe immediately after adding the ink drop? Also, what do you observe immediately after adding a drop of honey? How many hours or days does it take for the color of ink to spread evenly throughout the water? So let us understand this by performing this activity. हम एक कटोरी में शहद लेंगे और दूसरी कटोरी में इंक लेंगे and we will take 2 glasses full of water. So I'm taking few drops of ink in a dropper and approximately equal volume of honey in the spoon, and will add them together inside water. After some times, when you will notice both the solutions, you will find that rate of spreading of ink is much faster compared to the honey. So this is how both the solutions will look after 1 hour. Activity number 5. Drop a crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate into a glass of hot water and another containing cold water. Do not stir the solution and allow the crystals to settle at the bottom, which means हमें 2 ग्लासेस लेने हैं, एक गर्म पानी का और एक ठंडे पानी वाला, और उन दोनों में हमें पोटेशियम परमैंगनेट या कॉपर सल्फेट के क्रिस्टल्स डालने हैं और उन्हें घोलना नहीं है. दैट मीन्स वी डोंट हैव टू स्टर इट. नाउ what do you observe just above the solid crystals in the glass? What happens as time passes? What does this suggest about the particles of solid and liquid? Does the rate of mixing change with temperature? Why and how? So let's see this with the help of an activity. I have added crystals of potassium permanganate in both हॉट वाटर एज वेल एज कोल्ड वाटर. अब आप देख सकते हो हॉट वाटर में पोटेशियम परमैंगनेट के क्रिस्टल्स बिना स्टरिंग किए अपने आप घुल रहे हैं. दे आर कंटिन्यूअसली मूविंग इन हॉट वाटर. जबकि कोल्ड वाटर में वो एक जगह पे सेटल हो गए हैं एंड दे आर नॉट गेटिंग डिजॉल्व्ड इन द वाटर. After some times, you will observe that hot water has become completely colored, but cold water still has potassium permanganate crystals settled down at the bottom. So, from the above 3 activities, we can conclude that particles of matter are continuously moving. That is, they possess what we call kinetic energy. Actually, these particles are moving because of energy possessed by them, which we call as kinetic energy. So how you will define kinetic energy of the particles? It is defined as energy possessed by a moving particle. Now here we have seen in above activities that kinetic energy depends upon temperature. As the temperature rises, particles move faster, like we saw in the activity of crystals of potassium permanganate, how they were quickly dissolving in hot water compared to the cold water. So we can say that with increase in temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles also increases. Also from above activities, we see that particles of matter intermix on their own with each other. Like we saw the activity of incense stick. As soon as we light up the incense stick, we have seen that its smell reaches several meters away without any disturbance. So, this is because of one more property of the particles which we call as diffusion. So, we define diffusion as intermixing of particles of two different types of matter on their own. We also observe that on heating, diffusion becomes faster. Why does this happen? This is because due to heating, particles of matter move away from each other, creating more spaces. Hence, this allows them to intermix with each other because of spaces. Particles of matter attract each other. Now let us understand the third characteristic of particles of matter by a simple activity. Activity number 6. We have to play a game in the field. That is, we have to make 4 groups of different students which form a human chain as suggested. The first group should form a human chain by holding each other's back and lock their arms just like Edo Mishmi tribal dancers, which you can see in this image. This type of human chain will be formed by first group of students. Now, the second group should hold hands to form a human chain. So, as you can see in this image, second group will form a human chain by holding each other's hands. And the third group should form a human chain by touching each other's fingertips, which you can also see in this image. The third group will form a human chain by touching each other's fingers. Now, we will ask the fourth group of students to run and try to break these human chains one by one. Now, which group was the easiest to break and why? Also, if we consider each student as a particle of matter, then in which group the particles held each other with the maximum force? So, without any doubt, we can say human chain of third group can be easily broken compared to first and second group. This is because the students of third group were holding each other just by tips of their finger. Whereas in first group, we saw students were holding each other by locking their arms into their back. So we can say the force of attraction in first group was maximum compared to the force of attraction between second and third group. Activity 7. Take an iron nail, a piece of chalk and a rubber band. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting or stretching. In which of the above 3 substances do you think the particles are held together with greater force? So in order to understand this, we will take 3 substances, that is iron nail, chalk and rubber band. Now, with the help of hammer, we will try to break iron nail by continuous hammering. Will you be able to break it? The answer is no. Now, we will try to crush the chalk with the help of our palm. We are able to do it? Yes. And now we will try to stretch rubber band. So you can see, due to elasticity, we can stretch rubber band up to certain extent. So from this activity, we conclude that force of attraction between the particles of iron nail is more compared to the force of attraction between the particles of chalk and rubber band. Activity 8. Take some water in a container. Try cutting the surface of water with your fingers. Were you able to cut the surface of water? What could be the reason behind the surface of water remaining together? So friends, if you will try to insert your fingers in a steady water, you will be easily able to cut through its surface. And once you remove your fingers, the surface will become as it is. So what is the reason behind this? Actually, the particles of water have least force of attraction between them. Since this force of attraction is least, we are easily able to cut through its surface. However, when we remove our fingers, this minimum force tries to keep the surface uniform again. Hence, from above three activities, we suggest that particles of matter have force of attraction between them. This force keeps the particles together. The strength of this force of attraction varies from one kind of matter to another. So this brings us to the end of first part of chapter number 1, Matter in our surroundings. In the next part, we will continue with states of matter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel Vigyan Shala, and also press the bell icon for more notifications of new videos.